Hear ye, I just got the newest parchment from Hollywood, and let's see what it says with the newest update with all the celebrities. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what I thought it would say. Dwayne the Johnson's career ain't going nowhere. Skyscraper. So Skyscraper is the new movie starring Dwayne the Johnson. He plays a former FBI agent with a leg and a half. He's got a nice family, and he's been called to Hong Kong to run the final security checks on this building, which is the new tallest building in the world. And you know, for the first like maybe 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes, you're like, oh, this is visually really cool. You know, it's like technologically advanced. I mean, it's in Hong Kong, so no surprise there. That's a compliment. But then, of course, shit hits the fan when terrorists attack it, and now, like, one floor of the building is on fire, and then it spreads, and now Dwayne the Johnson has to rescue his family, who is still in there, and the terrorists are in there, too. Kinda reminds me of Die Hard. And that's our very simple premise. We have Dwayne the Johnson, who needs to rescue his family from a burning skyscraper, and there's a lot of close calls. I called Star Trek Into Darkness Close Calls the movie, but, like, this movie, holy shit. The close calls in this movie are, like, the selling point of this movie. I'll touch more on that later, but first of all, I like the fact that they made Dwayne the Johnson's character a real human being for once. Normally in movies, he plays like a big man-child with the strength of an Asgardian. And like no matter what situation he's in, whether he has powers or not, he has super strength. But in this movie, I appreciated that he's actually a legitimate human being. He doesn't have super strength. He throws down with guys, but he also takes a lot of hits. And the way they set up his family, I'm like, alright, I buy it. I like the dynamic he has with his family. You buy the fact that he cares about his family. I mean, the acting done by the family could have been better, but I guess that's what happens when you have no-name actors. I've never seen this actress before. I mean, they didn't have much acting to do. I mean, for the majority of the movie, I'm sure the director was just like, alright, just be scared. Be scared and be hella grateful when the Johnson saves you. Perfect. But I did like the setup and the dynamic that Dwayne the Johnson's character, Will Sawyer, had with his family. So like half an hour into this movie, you're like, alright, I can see this movie going either way. But then the movie turns its dial up to 11 when the terrorists show up and set the building on fire and let the ridiculous stunts ensue. I really mean that. This movie goes from crazy to ridiculous to over the top. I mean, I don't know if Dwayne the Johnson is doing his own stunts or not. Probably not. But what was going through the director's head when he was like choreographing all the stunts for this movie? Was he all like, alright, and I want him to jump from a super crane into a building? The good thing is that this movie knows how ridiculous and frankly stupid it is. Because at one point, Dwayne the Johnson's character just straight up says, this is stupid. So great, the movie's self-aware. Props to that. Doesn't save it from being any more ridiculous. I mean, I would be lying if I said there weren't some nail-biting scenes, like, again, the close calls. You, dude. Like, he is dangling by his mechanical leg, which is attached to a rope, which is attached to a window. And this mechanical leg is sliding off, so it detaches, and he has to grab it. But for a split second there, he is not attached to anything. And you're just like, ah! He's going to fall and die. I swear to God, at one point in the movie, I heard a shriek coming from some woman in the audience. She was like, ah! And then we all laughed at that. But that's the kind of close call, nail-biting stuff that's in this movie. Fun to watch, sure, but then at a point it becomes a little too much. Because close calls like that are like throughout the movie, and after enough of it, you're like, alright, I get the point here. The bad guys weren't really impressive either. There was this really cool assassin chick. This chick was like a ninja. She was badass. She was serious about her cause too. I'm surprised she wasn't the main bad guy in this movie, but she wasn't. Get this chick more work though, because she's awesome. But the main bad guy in this movie is like generic Russian baddie number 7. But let's be honest with ourselves. When it comes to movies like this, where they take place mostly in a building and there are terrorists attacking it, for a villain, you will never be able to top Hans Gruber. So yeah, the main bad guy in this movie is forgettable. The score in this movie was done by Steve Jablonsky, who actually does write good music. I mean, bash the Transformers movies all you want, but that main theme he wrote is pretty awesome. And he wrote good music for this movie too. I mean, I don't remember it at all, but it was good. Guys, in the end, Skyscraper had some coolish stuff in it, like a lot of cool stunts and close calls, but in the end, I'm not gonna remember this movie in a few days. It tried to be better than it is, and it shows, but for a lot of it, it just doesn't really work. It gets way too ridiculous, way too fast, and at the end of the day, it just feels more like a theme park ride than anything else. For Skyscraper, I will say, wait until you can watch this movie on Netflix. And just a side note, you know, years ago we heard that Dwayne the Johnson was cast as Black Adam for the DC Extended Universe. Is that still happening? If anyone knows the full details on that, let me know. So Skyscraper, have you seen it? What did you think about it? And what is your favorite Dwayne the Johnson movie? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.